Is the spare flat? Oh my God. All right, well, I'll get back to you when I deal with this. Need a damn freaking pump. Yeah, shit, I need a pump. Oh, jeez. There we go. Yeah. Plan for today, absolute back annihilation. And frankly, I think a rest day is damn near scheduled at this point. I end up doing chest, back, arms, legs, and usually somewhere around that after back-ish kind of timeline, it usually just ends up being a rest day. At least over the last couple of weeks, which is a-okay with me, right? Because like as much as I want to adapt my intensity over time, right, and simply just be able to recover faster from harder training, I don't want to limit my intensity for that kind of quick recovery's sake, you know? Like, oh man, I'm gonna be, if I really hit my chest as hard as I can, it's gonna be sore for 3 days. I better pull back and only hit it half as hard, right? That's honestly, that's my only argument when it comes to the this whole kind of science-based overcomplication era that we're in right now. Currently, that's kind of it's at its height, I would say, if you're watching this far into the future, right? But it's it just loses me, right? I'm not necessarily going into this back day thinking, okay, I need to work my lats with a lengthened and slow. I don't even know what these guys say when they explain it. But I mean, they take a regular pull down, and rather than just like think, okay, lats, stretch, lift a good amount of weight, have a hard squeeze, go to failure. I mean, it's just so many different like angles and thought processes. I think you're just kind of losing the point, because at the end of the day, it's just as hard as you go with reasonable form and actual like muscular activation. And a lot of the ideas are just kind of regular bro science, but explained in a fancier way, so it just kind of loses me, right? But at the end of the day, my shtick, if I had to put myself in I guess you could call it the lifter political party, is simply a mass advocate for intensity, right? Frankly, I couldn't really care less what style of training you do exactly, as long as you're actually killing it and making progress, because gains are gains. They're going to speak for themselves. So if what you're doing is working, who cares if someone doesn't agree with how you did it, right? If you got a 315 bench PR, or if you got a freaking wide ass back, or you got massive biceps or anything else, who cares how you got them if what you did worked to get them, And anybody who disagrees with your methods, I mean, it's honestly just a simple situation of just pure opinion, because you can get pretty damn big doing a wide variety of workouts. I mean, I'm talking 20 set, not so intense sets, so you got reps in reserve each time. You're doing a little more higher volume, super high intensity. You're only doing, let's say somebody wants to work out 3 sets of chest. I only want to do 3, totally destroy each set, and then like a lot of ways to freaking skin the cat of getting a pump. So as long as you're actually getting pumped up, making gains, and you're not just like, I think I'm a little stronger than I was a year ago. No, I mean, like, you're making numerically like measurable gains, either size, strength, endurance, whatever, then that's all the explanation for your training that you need. Anything else is just pure freaking conjecture for its own sake. And really, it's just because, I think at heart, we all just love to argue. So if someone thinks they're right talking about a certain style of working out, and then somebody else disagrees, I mean, it's human nature to say, well, and we've seen it, right? I still post, or I'm going to start posting more just of the joke TikToks again. I need to add a little like disclaimer that the TikToks are much more kind of ironic and satirical a little bit. Like, I'm not going to post something that's like casual and chill on the TikTok as I do with these regular workout videos. So I see, I always get a bunch of people riled up in the comment sections of those. And I mean, they'll go back and forth for hours. I mean, I turned off the notifications, so it's on my phone's buzzing every time these guys go back and forth. But I'll tune back in. I'm talking like 50 comment thread of replies. It's like, dude, just get pumping, go home, man. It's deep, but it's not that deep, you know. So, plan for today with back, like I was saying a second ago. Yeah, just overall wreck it with maybe some heavier, nasty sets combined with some lighter, longer rep squeezing sets. I mean, I want to hit from all angles, and as long as every time, you know, every upright row or like upper back row and pull down and pull over and whatever, as long as I kill it on all of them, then I can go home a winner, knowing that I got a big ass back pump and it feels like, well, for the non-initiated, like if you gave somebody who's never worked out the same degree of pump that I'm about to get in their back, they'd probably want to call the freaking hospital because they think something was wrong with them. But we know better, right? We know that's the freaking goal. So, you know we're talking? Let's just get started. I'm gonna pick a better song, but let's start reasonably simple. Heavy ass freaking pull downs. So, these aren't gonna be such a slow, squeezing, controlled rep like there will be when I come over here to the pullover, but simply by moving around this much weight, I mean, I hardly ever even hear this kind of set advocated for, but like, it's not like I'm sitting here with a massive squeeze, like I'm not holding the bottom for 2 seconds, and I'm not getting like as big of a stretch, like all the way as far up as my lats go, but still just having so much weight being moved around, like at the end, I mean, simply results in lat destruction in a good way, you know. Now I wouldn't want every set to look like this, which is why I'm not going to do every set like this, and the rest of like the rows and the pullovers are going to be different. But for this one at least, as an opener, and of course I've warmed up, this isn't like coming onto the stack cold, this will be a good start. So what let's see what kind of songs we got here. Okay. Oh my God. Whew. One more of those. And shit, that's not actually that wild. Like obviously that's like getting close to as heavy as I can do. But yeah, looks like 300's within the wheelhouse. So one more, then let's grab something else. Okay. Okay, let's make that drop set. All right, oh, God. Holy shit. Okay. Let's do some pullovers now. Oh, those were good. This will look very different. So I think I can go a little heavier, but I'm still staying on the lighter side of things. Lat focused, of course, but this set is going to be much slower with a fully accentuated hold and squeeze at the bottom. And frankly, I don't know. I mean, this might end up being like a 20, even a 25 rep set. A little higher on the end than I usually do. But given the kind of nature of it, this is what I like. And this machine plus the pull down I'm about to do next, I feel so much lats like right under my armpit that honestly, like, I'm still going to bounce around gyms. You know, I'm not just going to stay here like a damn recluse. But for back, I mean, this is kind of pretty much my best bet for back gains, because even on those pull downs, like, obviously I'm working my lats, right? Like, they're getting wrecked, but I'm feeling it, like, not exclusively, but a good amount just down here where my lats kind of tie in to my lower back and my erectors, right? Which is good. Again, you know, it gives me sort of lower back width and thickness. But what I really want is my lats to open up wider up top, right? And since my lats insert pretty low, which I think is a good thing, kind of gives me more of like a turtle shell back, instead of, you know, when some guys have real high lat insertions, I mean, they got crazy width, but they lose a little thickness. And that's not dogging on you if you do. I'm just kind of, obviously I'd probably want to convince myself I like my own genetics because I can't change them, right? But I want to feel a lot more up here. And since every time I do heavy pull downs, even heavy, even like light squeezing cable pullovers, I get a lot of lower lat, which is good. But doing this movement in that row, or that pull down / row, that's what I want to bias a little more. So let's go nuts here. All right, come on. All right. Oh, crap. One more of those. What the? Oh, there we go. Buckle myself in upside down. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's move on. Looks like today's gonna be a little more lat focused, which I'm cool with. 2 plates on this pull down will be freaking perfect. And I want at least like a slight hold at the bottom while I'm strong enough. Obviously, once I get more weak and fatigued, I don't mind doing some partials. But this set's gonna start clean before it gets dirty. All right, come on. Oh my God. Oh, okay. That was way too freaking heavy. Let's make that drop set. All right. Okay, that's good. Holy crap. Oh, I think that's enough. I was gonna do 2 sets of those. Whew. You know, freaking shot. Let's do some rows next, and we're getting close to done. This might even be the finisher. So here we have another machine that is, let's say it's rather efficient. And what I mean by that is the freaking weights are not twice as far, but further out on this sort of like pendulum than the handles, you know? So it's, even though it's only 2 plates, it feels more like 4-ish, right? So it's like the total opposite of a cable machine, you know, because when you do a regular cable, like the push downs or for flies and stuff, it's got an extra pulley. So when you pull the cable 2 feet, the weight only goes up 1, right? So you only feel half the weight. But with this one, when my hand goes up a foot, the weight is going to go up like 1.5 feet, at least. So it's kind of a reverse sort of lever, if you get my gist. But this will be a relatively controlled set first, same as those rows, but I don't think there's going to be need for a drop set. I'm sure this will be pretty damn close to perfect. Whew. All right. Come on. Okay. Oh, I think that's enough. Let's pose down. Yeesh. Yeah, there we go. First lift with the natural lighting. Yeah, this is freaking nice. But back, let's see, how many sets was that? Heavy pull down, pull over, pull over. Oh yeah, pull down machine, row. Yeah, man, shit. 6. That's been my damn freaking magic number the last couple of lifts. Because what was my last chest day? It was the same shit. Heavy press, dumbbell bench, heavy press, dumbbell bench, heavy press, flies as a finisher. No, I'm not saying that's the magic number. Of course, there is no specific number like that. But what I am saying is that for the last few lifts, with the intensity that I was bringing to those sets at least, I don't think I would have got much more out of the workout to have added any more volume than that, you know? So that's kind of that's sort of my stance on that freaking matter. But, well, how about we start back by looking at the back? Oh yeah, now we're freaking cooking with gas. Oh. So what do you think? How's the width? I'm feeling pretty freaking wide. And you see what I'm talking about? How there's that ridge of a shadow in the middle of my back? That's kind of something you could relate to its thickness. You know what I'm saying? But what I really want is my lats to open up much wider. Like when I was talking about where I was feeling them burning on those pullovers, I'm talking about like up here, like this chunk of lat right underneath my armpit. Because that's what kind of adds to that, you know, real kind of wide look on top. goodness. It's freaking hard to hold a vacuum with a belly full of food. But that's just the nature of bulking. No need to complain about it. But yeah, even just like flexing up here before I really widen out. Yeah, that's sweet. Oh, goodness, all right. Let's bust down an Arnold, then we can roll. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. All right. So back, I'd say, has been sufficiently thrashed. Honestly, to the point that I'm probably going to feel it tomorrow. All right. Well, we'll see. If a rest day is necessary, I'll take one. But if not, well, why skip a lift if you don't have to? So, I think that's all I got here. Let's get in the car and roll. Looks like I'm getting too big for the Camry. Friggin' popped a flat. So, minor delay. Ain't that hard to fix though. I know what I'm doing. All right. So, is this a sign? Is this a sign to replace the Sandmobile with something a little bit cooler? Well, maybe. Not today though. Not freaking today. So, only a minor delay. If I were a lifter maybe 15 years ago, I'd probably be shitting my pants thinking that I was going to miss my anabolic window. I mean, I think it was, yeah, it's funny, there's an old Athlean X video where he's talking about how one time he got a speeding ticket because he was rushing home from the gym because he didn't want to, he didn't want to miss his fucking, post-workout meal within, however many minutes he had to eat it. But, well, I think we're a little bit past that. So I guess it's a good opportunity to talk about post-workout meal timing. Just how soon should that last meal of the day be before, you might be missing out on gains. And, I don't think there's an exact answer. Obviously, I'd probably want to eat my last meal kind of as soon as possible, just to kind of mitigate any risk of potentially, missed gains or anything along those lines. But, don't freak. So if you're, 20 minutes out from the gym, or you're 20 minutes out from home, you're waiting for your buddy because you guys carpooled, and you're thinking, fuck, I gotta get my last meal in quick. Don't worry about it. As long as you get your daily protein intake and you're at least reasonably well fed, I'd say you're pretty much good. Let's do one more round and make sure this shit doesn't come off. All right. Good as freaking now. This is the first time I've ever had to do this. All right. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Is the spare flat? Oh my God. All right. Well, I'll get back to you when I deal with this. Need a damn freaking pump. Yeah, shit, I need a pump. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Yeah. It's weird seeing me out in the wild, huh? At least it's nice out. So I'm currently waiting on Papa Sulik to come over and give me a little loadout drop just to pump that thing up. That's one bonus living close to home, right? You got the OGs ready to help you at least a reasonably notice moments. Or moments freaking notice. But good back pump. Frankly, I couldn't have asked for anything more stimulation-wise. And that was definitely more of a lat-focused day. Okay, for a second I didn't think I had my mic on. But yeah, a little more lat-focused. Because, I used to be the kind of guy... Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like completely opposite now. But my mindset used to be a bit more along the lines of, well, why would I do a lat-focused day one day of the week for back, and then a more mid-back, like rowing-focused day the other? If I do an even mix of both every back day, I get the same amount of work, because I'll get the same amount of lat activation if someone did double the lat work one day and then no lat work the other day versus an even amount one to the other. So it just kind of, I feel like it just kind of plays itself out like that. But I've been starting to like a little bit more biased like that. Like with, especially with legs, I think I'm getting a lot more out of a real hamstring dedicated day and then a quad dedicated day, especially quad wise, because for quads, I can really wreck them and then get a full week recovery before coming back to hit them again. And I think it's similar with lats too, because, well, I don't know, it's hard to say, because it's like, what's more tension, a heavy bench or a heavy row, right? Because your lats are definitely bigger than your pecs. But for the most part, I feel like I hit my lats pretty hard. So if I do real heavy rows, I mean, those pull downs were like 300 pounds. If I do a back day like that, I usually end up doing a lighter back day opposite to kind of balance it out anyway. So maybe I think I'll add some of that sort of back and forth style a little bit more often now. But we'll have to see. So I'll see how I feel tomorrow morning once I get some food in me and rest up and wake up and everything. Because usually that's when I can actually decide if a rest day is warranted. Because if I'm, obviously right now, I'm tired. I wouldn't feel like doing a workout later today, nor do I think it would be even an effective use of my time, right? I got to rest and recover. But by the time tomorrow comes around and I've had a full night's rest and I've had some meals and I've had some time to kind of freaking, just recover from all this damage, then I can make an actual, like, informed decision on, okay, do I take a rest day today and recover? Is that actually the best move? Or can I still hit arms? And sure, my back might be a little tired, but, I'm still fresh enough as a system to go on. So that's more of the stuff that I think is worth thinking about. Like, not exactly what specific movements you're going to do every specific lift or your split or anything else like that. Like, nobody became a freaking baller because they picked the perfect split. That's more of just that's an after the fact kind of thing, right? That's an afterthought. Frankly, I think the guys who really get after it, and I say this a million times, I'm kind of repeating myself here, but they're the guys who just kill it on the regular. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, if all I did was freaking, if I did like a full, or if I did upper lower, if I did like the Arnold split, or I did every other day, whatever, as long as I got after it, and as long as you're getting after it, dude, I think you're going to make gains. It's not such a, like, oh, I have to make sure that my full routine is completely perfect kind of situation. It's, more so make sure your intensity is as high as you can get, and your actual, like, set by set, day by day effort is at least up there. I'm not saying you have to redline it. Not every lift do I load up my maximum capacity and I'm completely, and I'm just perfectly in the zone. It just doesn't happen, right? We're living in reality. This isn't a damn thermodynamics problem where you assume ideal gas, right? There's a lot of kind of variables at play which you kind of have to, as a lifter, take into account and try to at least, fight against. So, maybe you feel a little scrappy, but you still kill it. Even if that lift was, not your best, you still went after it, So it's not so much exactly what you do, but it's, I feel, more so how you do it. That's kind of my main point there. But I'm gonna keep chilling out, get this thing pumped up. Yeah, this might be, we're getting close to 200,000 miles here. It's not like the engine's sputtering out or anything, but we might be ready for Camry 2.0. We'll have to see. But she hasn't exploded yet, so I think we're still good for a little while. But I'll see you for something tomorrow. If it's a rest day, I'll just bring you along with me for cardio. But if it's arms, And then you can be pretty damn sure that I'm going to pump these arms up to the point where I'm worried that my skin's going to freaking explode and I need to have medical personnel on hand to suture me back up. But either way, I'll see you then.